Welcome back to Golf Xtra. Over a month after the initial announcement of the PGA Tour's merger with their previously bitter rival LIV Golf, the details are still leaking out little by little. There's still a lot that needs to be learned, including how the new organization will operate, what the schedule will be, and even what the name of the new organization will be, for now called NewCo. However, who's exactly in control has been sorted out in recent Senate hearings, and players, executives, and even senators have had plenty to say on the matter. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now let's get right into who is really in control of the new LIV PGA entity. The LIV PGA merger has attracted a lot of attention from everyone around the golf world. The shocking nature of the deal has even attracted the attention of the U.S. government, who are suspicious that the pending deal could run afoul of antitrust laws. As such, several prominent PGA Tour officials recently testified in front of the U.S. Senate, shedding additional light on the proposed new entity. For example, Jimmy Dunn, a PGA Tour board member, gave the Senate and us some info on why the PGA Tour decided to pursue a merger, saying, "My fear is if we don't get to an agreement, they are already putting billions of dollars into golf. They have a management team that wants to destroy the tour. And even though you could say they only take 5 or 6 players a year, they have an unlimited horizon and an unlimited amount of money. It isn't like the product is better, it's just that there's a lot more money that will make people move. I am concerned if we do nothing, they will end up owning golf. They can do it. It isn't that big. It has only a couple of hundred players. I am deeply concerned." Ron Price, another PGA Tour board member, added his thoughts about the futility of the potential fight against LIV, saying, "Had we gone down that path, we would still be fighting the very expensive and disruptive litigation. LIV would have continued to recruit our players and put our tour in jeopardy. They could have become the leader in professional golf and operated it for the benefit of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia." However, though the PGA Tour might have been forced to capitulate to LIV due to lack of finances, they still seem to have come out on top in terms of control. For example, LIV's CEO and longtime PGA Tour antagonist Greg Norman looks to be out of the picture. Price's comments continued, "Under the framework agreement, if we were able to move to definitive agreement and it's approved, the LIV Golf assets, of which Greg Norman's currently the commissioner, would move into a new PGA Tour subsidiary, controlled by the PGA Tour, and those events will be managed by the PGA Tour. We'd have a complete infrastructure in place to manage such events. It would make no sense to bring in that type of executive to manage what is now a 14 series of events." Ouch! That definitely hurts for Greg, but it does seem like he has made his money during LIV's short independent run. As for LIV itself, the executed agreement, revealed during the Senate hearings, showed some color on what the future of the 54-hole golf league might look like. The agreement reads, in part, "NewCo will undertake a full and objective empirical data-driven evaluation of LIV and its prospects and potential and will make a good faith assessment of the benefits of team golf in general, and PIF, the PGA Tour, and the DP World Tour will work together in an effort to determine how best to integrate team golf into PGA Tour and DP World Tour events going forward." So, what about PGA players who speak out against the Saudi Arabian government or against the PIF? After the agreement was signed, many wondered if the PGA Tour players would be allowed to freely speak their minds, given the amount of money that the Saudi-led PIF was dumping into the new golf entity. While there is a non-disparagement clause in the contract regarding the executives of the various organizations, Dunn reported in the Senate hearings that the players were not covered under this agreement, saying, "Our position is that the players are free to speak their mind under that agreement, and that is the way we've interpreted it. We always take our player interest very importantly, and we would try to protect their interest." That still leaves the important question of what the players think about all this. And if there's one player in the PGA Tour who is tuned in to the current conversations going on within the walls of the PGA Tour offices, it's Rory McIlroy. The Northern Irishman did appear to have been left out in the cold a little bit with the recent announcement of the merger, given his previous ardent defense of the PGA Tour during their protracted battle with LIV, but his comments after the fact shed some light on just how much he knows about the future of golf. Immediately after the merger, McIlroy commented on the nature of the entity to come, and given what we discussed earlier in the video, he seems to have known quite a bit about where things were headed. McIlroy's comments were as follows. The one thing I think was really misconstrued yesterday was all the headlines where PGA Tour merges with LIV. LIV's got nothing to do with this. The PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and the Public Investment Fund are basically partnering to create a new company. I think that's where I was a little frustrated because all I've wanted to do and all I've wanted in the past year from basically this tournament is to protect the future of the PGA Tour and protect the aspirational nature of what the PGA Tour stands for. I hope that this does that. But I think with the headlines being merges with LIV, that's not, if you look at how it's structured down, this new company sits above everything. Jay's the CEO of that, so technically anyone that's involved with LIV now would answer to Jay. The PGA Tour has control over everything. McIlroy also agreed with the comments made by PGA board members about the inevitability of the merger, saying, whether you like it or not, the PIF was going to keep spending money on golf. At least the PGA Tour now controls how that money is spent. If you're thinking about one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world, would you rather have them as a partner or an enemy? At the end of the day, money talks, and you'd rather have them as a partner. I think ultimately when I try to remove myself from the situation and I look at the bigger picture and I look at 10 years down the line, I think ultimately this is going to be good for the game of professional golf. I think it unifies it and secures its financial future. However, McIlroy wasn't fully willing to concede that LIV was the best thing for the tour, even going so far as to say, if LIV Golf was the last place to play golf on earth, I would retire. That's how I feel about it. I'd play the majors, but I'd be pretty comfortable. McIlroy's not the only golfer with difficult feelings about the merger. Scottie Scheffler, one of the PGA Tour's very best players, expressed confidence in the future of the PGA Tour, but also expressed trepidation at the dearth of answers available to the PGA's players, as well as at the lack of involvement of players in the negotiation process. In a statement at the Scottish Open, Scottie Scheffler said, "I just try to keep my head down and play golf. I don't get too involved in a lot of that stuff. I love playing golf on the PGA Tour, and that's the spot for me. I'm hoping that's going to exist for a long time. I felt like we were doing a good job before, and then the agreement happened, and now we have to navigate the whole deal." He finished his comments with the statement that we would guess most players and fans agree with. I just wish that definitely our player reps need to be more involved in the process. So, what do you think about PGA's control over the new golf entity to be formed upon completion of the LIV PGA merger? Do you think that the players will come around eventually? Be sure to leave us a comment with what you think down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can watch our latest content updates as soon as they drop. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.